Almost live on all. We're on 10 channels right now. Huh. 6 channels are okay. Boom. They're slowly coming on. There they are. All 16 channels. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Um, I was gonna have Graham Elwood right here. You guys remember what I told you this morning when I said Graham Elwood was coming to the show? I said, yeah, I'll go live at 1 or maybe after. It just depends because sometimes Graham's a little late. But in all honesty, guys, I haven't heard from Graham since Sunday. So, I mean, I watched his live streams while he was live the last few days, and I, participated in those. But I, uh, I, I, I'm not getting any message back from him on Twitter. So, I wanted to come on. I knew a lot of you guys were waiting for this discussion. It promises to be really well whenever it does happen. And it could happen any second. He could still pop in here. So I got my eye on the Zoom chat over here. But in the meantime, I just wanted to apologize to all of you that he's not here right now. I'm so sorry, man. I was hoping to bring him live. Bam. So we'll just maybe do some bong hits. We'll look at the Sweet Afghani Delicious, the box that I propped open here for this discussion. I thought that would be cool. We're going to talk about how I grew this and this on a single plant. It's only got one little stalk in there from the jack here, but the rest of that is all one plant. Yo, Nay, what up? Hey, Enoch, what's up, son? So hopefully he'll still show up. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. I just gotta. He forgot. I love it. I love it. All right, great. Graham just texted. He's like, oh shit, I'll be right there. See, I would start texting him earlier just to kind of, and he wasn't responding. So I text him a little bit more, I text him something cute, just to try to bump the chats up and maybe message him. He's got a busy schedule, he's got a very busy schedule. So yeah, he's coming, guys. He's gonna be here. I'm very excited. I mean, I gotta tell you, I was excited just to be here with 30 of you guys. Even if Graham wasn't going to show up, I was like, wow, 30 people are here. This is great. Right off the bat, we're going to get high at least. I was excited for that. So this is just like, wow. So, okay, I got a bong rip for y'all that showed up on time. I love y'all, and thank you so much for being here. I know you're all excited about Graham being here like I am. So, let's patiently wait for him. And, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabis is intense. You guys like I got the medium shirt on? Yeah, what? Nay's wearing a medium. Cyber style. Cheers, everybody. My AC went out again, but I went and I did what I did before and it started it again. So he said if it does it again, let him know it's a problem. But at least I'll have AC for the show. In fact, even if the AC doesn't come on, I turned it off just now. If it doesn't even come on, it's fine. It's nice and comfortable in here because I had it running. Nobody wears a medium anymore, pal. So unreal. What are you, crazy? Nobody even does it like that anymore. So somebody had said earlier it was Danny, what's up, son? Somebody said earlier, are you going to mention to Graham, are you going to bring up the Jeffrey Tubin masturbation thing? I was like, no, man. Dude, I said, let me fucking ask the questions, okay? I don't need fucking input from you. Okay? I can fucking handle this one, okay? I'm revisiting that. I want to tell you something. That was 420 Lurch. It's pretty fucking pertinent, man, and he's a funny guy, and I'm a funny guy, and I'm afraid we are going to have to talk about that on your request. On your request, we are probably going to bring up Tubin. And I'm going to let Graham know exactly how I feel about Jeffrey Tubin, you know? And I think it's important that people hear that message. You know, we talked about it this morning. Shane, what's up, buddy? Aaron, Lowell. Hey, there he is. There he is. Let's get that camera going here. Graham has joined us, everybody. Okay, let's just wait for him to get his microphone running. It usually takes a second. So let me get his pin. Let me get his video pinned. We can't hear you yet, brother. So just let me see if you're. Oh, you are putting out audio, but I'm not hearing you. Check my audio here. Give me a second on this. 1 second, brother. I have to run an audio file really fast. Of course, I can't find one. Oh, here we go. How about a Ron Placone video? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Something else that will run and give me sound. Come on, man. Think, man, think. Why is there nothing here? Why is there nothing here? Let me get on my knees. I know I was going to have to do this. Oh, and just check my audio. Oh. I have no way to know if I have sound or not. This is crazy. All right, come on. Graham is... We lost Graham. Oh, wait, Graham's back. Okay, wait. Now, I know Graham's putting out sound, right? Oh, wait, he's muted right now. Wait for him to put this back on. Dude, I've got these videos on my desktop. I can't find them. Oh, there we go. Wait, there's one. There it is. Okay, I found a music file. Hold on. Let me just play it and see if I got sound. Yes! Okay, I've got sound. So, why can't I hear Graham? Why can't I hear you, sir? Let me look. Stop video. Mute. That's my stuff, man. Graham, you're putting out audio because I see it. I see your audio, man. I don't know why I don't. Okay, wait. Maybe I've got a. It's Windows 10 audio is not coming up for me. How beautiful is that? Okay, I'm not gonna get upset about it either. You can obviously hear me, right, Graham? You hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Yes. Okay. Graham can hear me. Okay. So let's. Should I close the Zoom and open it again? Graham, did you already disconnect from the Zoom and come back in? Is that what you did? Did you disconnect and reconnect? Because I could start a new Zoom chat too and just see if that fixes it. This has never happened to me before. I mean, my audio is definitely working on my computer, but Windows 10, I'm not going to get upset about it, but Windows 10 audio, when you click on it, it won't show me the audio functions on my computer. Okay, wait. I'm going to try to mute you and unmute you. Let me do that. Mute. Okay. Ask to unmute. Ask to unmute. Nope, not yet. So, can you? Okay, I can start a new Zoom chat and just send you the link to it, and we can see if that fixes it. Thumbs up. Okay, I'll see you in a minute, bro. Okay, end meeting. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Let's see what happens. I wish Windows 10 would let me see the audio, guys, so I could see if it was putting out audio. It's putting out audio. Okay, there's the Zoom. Let me just get the this window closed here and get him this address. Okay, there we go. Okay, copy link. Okay, let me get over to him on Twitter. I really apologize for this, guys. Okay, message to Graham. I really hope this works. Paste. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Participants, okay. God, I hope this works. Oh. Jeez. Okay, that is not what I wanted to do. Just unreal. Zoom meeting, there it is. I think I found it. There it is, cool, okay. All right, did he get that? Oh, try again. Message failed. It's failed the message. All right, let's see if this fixes it. Oh boy. Now I have sound on my computer, so I just don't know if the Zoom is broadcasting sound. Oh wait, there's a setting inside Zoom to play output the. Where is that at? Where are those settings at on Zoom? So hard to freaking find. I can't remember. Always have to search around to find the freaking settings on Zoom. Where are the Zoom settings? There, I found them. Here, audio, speaker. Oh, I think I found the problem. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, it was me. It was the settings here. The Zoom had set to another output. Unbelievable. It was totally.
Hello?
It was hi.
There we go, buddy. Got it.
We totally hear you now. It was me. It was my Zoom audio settings was outputting to a non-existent output. I checked the Zoom setting and I was like, oh, I gotta put on speakers.
If I had a nickel for every like tech time, sometimes it's just some tech thing I can't figure out. Sometimes it's just like I forgot to turn something on or just a button or something I had to do. Like it'll reset, like when I use StreamYard. And then it'll like it won't recognize the outputs or something, and I'm just like I think I've gotten better at not losing my shit over it every time, but it's just because it's just a part of doing business this way. It's just like, oh dude, yeah. So we're here. We figured it out.
We are, but I've got one of the guys that are you still there audio wise?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're coming through my TV speakers. Which is okay. It's happened before, but it's okay. We can hear you, and that's beautiful, and I'm not going to stress over it. My friend Billy Ballantyne, he's somebody that I interviewed on the channel a while back. He's on naysgarden.com along with your interview and Ron's and Steph's and everybody's. This is something that I got from him, and anytime I have to do anything where technology is concerned, and you could get like a bug in the system. I play with this. It's a little troll in here, and you just play with the troll, and you satisfy the troll by playing the game. You play. It's called Switch. You play Switch, so you hit the switch, and as long as you satisfy the troll, your technical difficulties aren't supposed to happen. So when I was waiting for you to connect, I was hitting that and everything was fine. I was like, I'm not going to have any technical difficulties. I was clicking it, but it wasn't a technical difficulty. It was a nay difficulty. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm horrible.
I think some of it though is, and to be fair, is this how I try to go easy on myself when I'm like, oh, I should have remembered this and forgot that. It's just like I'm just one dude in my apartment trying to like get through this. Like I'm not in a studio with a bunch of tech people, handling it. That would be nice if I could just show up and just, be the talent or whatever.
Exactly.
You got to do when we run our own shows, you got to wear 15 hats and, figure this out. And, it's the game we're in, I guess.
Right. So I've got a great opener for you.
Like, okay.
Okay. This was, how important the audience. This is a segue. This is a great segue. You made it known to me through your movie, Earbuds, how important the audience really is in when you're podcasting. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It is all about the audience. And earlier today, I was talking about we're gonna have a discussion with Graham today on the show. We're going to discuss gardening and climate change and a few other topics. And one of my audience members goes, "Hey man, you gonna talk about tubing?" And I go, "Hey bro," I'm like, "We're much higher brow than that." I said, "There's no need to discuss Jeffrey Toobin masturbating accidentally in a Zoom chat." And I was shaming the heck out of him, bro, on my live stream. I just shamed him. I was like, "We're not even gonna do it." And then I was walking around today, doing my stuff and getting ready for the show, and I was like, "We totally have to talk about that." Who am I kidding? Could you imagine, bro?
Yeah, so what is it? Some executive didn't realize his camera was on or something?
Bro,
like
you don't know who Jeffrey Toobin is? Oh, I'm so shocked right now. He's the legal expert from CNN, bro. I
think I read some about this, and he was whacking off during a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, he got triggered. Men get triggered. Sometimes you gotta polish the stinger. Sometimes you gotta bust one out. Sometimes you gotta, tame the beast. Sometimes you gotta, pop a load. Sometimes you gotta let the love flow. You know what I mean? It's a man thing. Sometimes you gotta do it. It's human for men to, to do a little tubing every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's only human to be tubing.
You gotta just there's a time and a place, though. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, "Well, hey man, sorry, I was at this restaurant and I just."
Let me tell you, I've got a really good. Remember Something About Mary?
Yeah.
Remember how he got ready for his date, and he pulled one out. He buffed one out before the date, right? Because he wanted to be relaxed, and he didn't want to, he didn't want to be sitting on a full load. I understand where he was coming from. He was very excited to go on a date with this woman, and he didn't want to show it. So, the load ended up in his hair, and he went on the date with semen hair, which was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my entire life. It made that movie a classic. That one scene. Right. So certainly from the good-natured humor, that we got from that, we can certainly forgive Jeffrey Toobin, right? For polishing one off during a Zoom chat that he thought his camera was off.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had that inclination during a Zoom chat.
No, me neither. But bro,
who am I to judge?
I'm no one to judge either. But all I'm gonna say is this: I've got a story to tell you, and it's a fantastic story. My engineer from my old recording studio told me that one day he was in his car jerking off, and I'm like, whoa, wait. You cannot start a story off with, I was in my car jerking off, bro. That is the craziest way to fucking start a story off. Anyway, he says ended up in the headliner, and he was looking for it and he couldn't find it. And I was like, so you lived something about Mary basically before the movie came out, because this was years ago, you know? And he was like, yep. He's like, it happened to me, bro. He's like, I'm like, that is the craziest whacking off story I've ever heard in my entire life. That really, I mean, Jeffrey Toobin takes the cake, though. And my friend, his name's Jeffrey too, and I'm just trying to figure out, what is it about guys named Jeffrey and whacking off? Is there, guys, anybody from the chat? No? I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting discussion.
I was just wondering.
Well, I mean, I think I don't know, it might blow some holes in the theory that CNN's fake news, you know, because that was pretty real. So, I don't know. I don't know what, you know, that guy's never going to live that down, which is kind of like.
He's gonna persevere. I don't think CNN's gonna fire him.
Well, I mean, it's not like what he did wasn't worse than when Donna Brazile gave Hillary Clinton questions before debate. That's cheating. So he wasn't cheating anybody. He just
he was doing what,
maybe just weirded some people out.
He was doing what comes naturally at the wrong place and the wrong time. And what I told my audience this morning was, you know, at first it's a little shocking when you hear the story, and then you have to realize that the guy thought his camera was off, and he was probably excited about something. Maybe there was a hot chick in the Zoom, triggered him or whatever, and he just decided to do that. Hey, man, let me tell you, just so you can feel better about the conversation we're having right now, Graham, this is something that I would never feel the urge personally to do. I mean, it's just I have more self-control than that. What's funny is the title from this morning's podcast was, I have no self-control and very little class. I said, but you be the judge. Come watch my podcast.
Right.
You like that?
Well, I mean, I've never done that. I've never had an inclination to do it. But I mean, I've definitely been on a Zoom call and, you know, I'm walking around changing my clothes. I'm going to the bathroom or whatever. Sure. And I think the camera's off. And I'm always like, God, if the camera ended up being on by mistake or even just the microphone, that would be really embarrassing. So, I mean, I think everybody in this COVID era can identify with at least being on some Zoom call where they were like, getting out of the shower naked or something like that, you know what I mean? Like sitting on the throne, whatever.
Like I forgot Big Brother was watching.
I mean, yeah, so I don't know, man. Whatever. I mean, it's just like it's funny to talk about for a little bit, but if anyone's all bent out of shape, it's like I think there might be other issues to discuss that are a little more important.
We've got some good stuff to talk about, and the main point I did want to make about Jeffrey Toobin was I've watched him for years. I've known who he was for years, and when he speaks on CNN, I always pay attention because he's well educated, he's well spoken, he makes a lot of sense.
Right.
He understands what they ask him about. He's a nice guy. He's not full of himself, and you get that when you've been watching him for years. So my whole take on it was he's only human, and I hope people cut him the same slack that they've cut people like Anthony Weiner and Bill Clinton and even, you know, our current president. People cut him a lot of slack for some of the things that he's been, you know, accused of.
I mean, the fact that Bill Clinton, who flight logs show he was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 26 times, is allowed to walk around in anything other than an orange jumpsuit. Is mystifying to me. And Hillary Clinton was on 2 times. The Clintons were at Epstein's compound in New Mexico on numerous occasions. Ghislaine Maxwell was at their daughter's wedding. So there should be an outcry about that. Any direct, serious links and writing on Epstein's plane. Bill Gates has been on his plane. Trump has been on his plane. That should get your outcry. Some guy, you know, thinking the camera's off when he wants to rub one out. I mean, whatever, man. Like, dude, you're not 13. You don't really have an excuse anymore. So, like, okay, that conversation should be about 2 minutes long, and then let's focus on all these actual people in power who are evil.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, nobody got hurt in what he was doing, right? He wasn't hurting somebody else. He wasn't, I mean, like, okay, it'd be like, whoa, bro, the camera's, you know, like, I mean, but you talk about the names of other people we just talked about. They're actually hurting people. I mean,
Right.
like, like the climate's collapsing. There's people starving. These two parties are still, having some kind of slap fight over a stimulus bill while people are losing their jobs, and all this other stuff is happening. So it's like, it might be time for everybody to rub one out. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I just, as long as everyone, anytime they talk about masturbating from now on, they only call it, "Hey, I'm going tubing." I'll be really happy. That should be the new, instead of, and then everyone calls it, "Hey, you jerking off" or something like that. They should call it tubing now. I think he's earned that. I respect him for it, and I want to give that to him.
Yeah, like Flynn. Like, yeah, that's from Arrow Flynn. Yeah. Well, what else do we want to talk about, buddy?
Okay,
Come on, let's get into some real stuff.
how about if I told you I grew this in my garden this past season, this grow season right now. So that's a 6.5 pound zucchini, and I put it on my shelf just to display, basically to everyone what my grow techniques do. And it's an all organic, and it's very, once you hear what I'm doing and how I'm doing this, and how easy and silly it is, you'll wonder why more people aren't doing this. People with access to a little bit of land and full sunshine, um, and we're gonna get into that after I put my pillow back.
Yeah, let's get into it, because I'm super curious, and I mean, I talk about on my show, people should start growing their own food. And truth be told, I haven't started doing it yet, because I've lived in an apartment type situation for probably 17, 18 years. I mean, I haven't had access to like a plot of land in probably since 2003. So, and I know though there's people out there, they're urban growing, they're doing permaculture and all these things that I'm really intrigued by. Because also, as I talk to my audience, like I'm learning more about crypto, and I'm trying to educate, as I'm educating myself, I'm trying to educate my audience on the looming collapse that's coming financially, and also what will come with that financial collapse is who knows what else, supply lines. I mean, we already saw stores with empty products on the shelves when the pandemic first hit, and all this other stuff. And so, when an economic collapse hits, there's a whole house of cards that goes down. And so anything that can make people more, I mean, I'm all about like, how can we all just unplug from this corrupt capitalist system in whatever means possible? So like growing your own food to me seems like part of that.
It's all of it. Growing your own food is all of it. And food storage. I mean, rice is the thing, man. You just get yourself a couple of 50-pound bags of rice and store them in plastic bins, just like this one, in a cool closet, just out of light, and away from where mice or anything can get to it. And you've got food for months and months. Just rice. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It lasts longer than any other food. So that's the one food to really think about storing up. Just you start with like a little 5-pound bucket of rice, and you'll realize if you're ever hungry, and just a thing of rice is so easy to make. It takes as long as it takes to boil the water, basically. Um, so that's a good one. And then growing your own vegetables in your home, it's so obtainable and it's so easy, and there's really nothing to it. You can do it on with a 400-watt light inside the house. And a 400-watt light is really not that big of a deal. You can get a high-pressure sodium light, or a metal halide light that has its own ballast, and its own little cooling fan and everything. And they don't even make a lot of heat. The lower the wattage, the lower the heat, but the lower the yield. I mean, I've got 1,000-watt bulbs, and I've got 3 of them down in my room. So I'm running 3,000 watts. But you can do it on such a small amount of light when you consider that the plant is right under the bulb. So if something inside is really easy, urban growing just outside your front stoop, or in your back, if you've even got a balcony, if you've got direct access to sunshine, even in your home through a window, You can grow amazing vegetables right there. And I was growing some cherry tomatoes this past grow season before I put them outside in my little grow room down there, and they were doing so well. The zucchinis don't want to produce inside. They need a lot of sunlight, and they get these really big leaves. But something that has a small leaf on it, a pole bean, um, grow them indoors all day, and they're so good. And they're good when they're raw, and they're good when you cook them. And I'm getting pole beans. I had one sitting here. I'm getting pole beans that are so. Oh, here it is. This one's dried up. I'm going to take the seeds out of it, but this will just show you when this thing was. This thing was beautiful. It was all puffed up, man. It's giant pole bean. Now it's full of seeds. Um, I'm growing those outside, and
What
I
are
was
some
growing
pole
them inside.
beans?
Pole beans are string beans. String beans.
Okay.
Yeah. You ever have string beans with, like in a
Mm-hmm.
can? That's exactly what they are. They're just, and they call them pole beans because they're grown on they spiral up poles.
Ah.
So all you need, Graham, is that light source and some good water, which is generally right out of the tap will get it done. If you're not chlorinated, if the water's not coming from the city chlorinated, you can put it in a 5-gallon bucket, like a paint bucket, let it sit for 24 hours, and the chlorine literally dissipates in 24 hours. So you can do that in a larger size bucket too, and then you've got no chlorine in your water because the plants won't do good in it. It'll poison them.
Right.
So just let the water sit. All the information I'm about to give you is available at my website, naysgarden.com. And you go to the website,
Okay.
and there's a link at the top. It says grow 4 pounds, and or grow a 6 pound zucchini. Um, Click on that link, and it'll give you all the information I'm about to give you, because I'm about to give you a crash course in organic growing, whether you're doing it indoors or out. And the most light you can get is the most important thing. So once you have your light and your water handled, then we're just talking about soil. And you're talking about building an environment that the roots of the plants love. And what that is mycorrhizal growth. It's bacteria in the dirt. So imagine manure and decaying animals, broken bones from animals out in the woods, bird crap falling from the birds' nests, and you get these giant trees. You literally get 200-foot tall redwood trees. Nobody is watering them. Nobody is doing anything to them. They are growing totally naturally outside. And I said to myself years ago when I started growing, what is it about outside that these plants grow so big and my indoor plants what's different? Well, what I was doing was I was using chemical um, nutrients. It was all chemical this and chemical that. And
Mm.
that's what I was doing. And there were no microbes in my soil. And I learned that you can literally just buy mycorrhizae. Those are the bacteria that live inside the soil, that they thrive in that soil, and through their thriving, and they're producing their own little, um, their waste products. They accelerate the uptake of nutrients into the plants. It's all about getting the soil to live. For instance, if you're ever walking outside in the woods and it's moist and it's in the morning and you see like white fungus growing on the ground and it looks like bacteria, you're looking at it and it's like, that doesn't look good. That looks like white mold. And it is. It is a white mold fungi growing on the ground. It is the best, most healthiest, most wonderful thing you will see outdoors or inside in your organic grow. It's okay. The soil is so happy that the molds are just coming right out of it, and they're reacting with those bacteria, and it's increasing the amount of bacterial activity inside that soil. So now you're wondering, what do you put in there to make it do that? And this is what makes it so easy. Is it's just your waste from what you eat. When you're in your kitchen and you're cutting up an onion and you've got a little bit left over, you're cutting up a
Mm-hmm.
zucchini and you got the ends left over, any vegetables, tomato ends, or something rots inside the refrigerator, something goes bad, banana peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, if you drink coffee, which is a great thing, coffee grounds. Um, cheeses. Like if you have a cheese that spoils and it's got that mold growing on it in your refrigerator, you throw that in too, and you put a bag inside your kitchen somewhere, like a double locked Glad seal bag, freezer bag, and you start putting all this garbage in it, and you keep it sealed. If you don't keep it sealed, it's gonna turn to life. It's gonna start decaying, and you're gonna get gnats and flies. They're gonna come right into it. They're gonna be attracted to the smell. So you got to keep it sealed while you're doing this. And you put all your garbage in there, and you go outside, and you find yourself a little area where you can just throw some dirt, and you mix all this garbage in with the dirt. You mix it together, and you keep it moist, and you keep it covered so the animals don't come to it. And you're making what I call a vegetable compost. You can put chips of wood, you can put lawn cuttings, you can put grasses, but don't put certain kinds of weeds that don't break down. You want everything that just breaks down really well. And you can even use ash from fire, wood ash. It's cardboard ash. It's known as uh, uh, I forgot the term, but when there's a forest fire and the trees burn and they fall into the ground when the trees burn, right? They notice a whole lot of growth right where the ashy trees are, and that's because those ashes help excite the mycorrhizal growth that's going on inside the soil. So ashes are great if it's from a
Okay.
healthy source. If it's from papers, cardboard, or tree products, great. Those ashes are great. Someone in the chat's probably going to tell me what that's called. It's Yeah, nobody got it, but that's okay. Anyhow, you can literally buy the bacteria in a can, in the granular form, and you can pour it into the soil. So you put your vegetables and your stuff in there, and then there's nutrients that are organic and natural that you can also add that the bacteria in the soil are going to love. And the three main ingredients make total sense because when you're walking through the woods, these are things that are literally falling into the dirt. Okay, I call them the three B's: bat guano, blood meal, and bone meal. Bat guano is basically bat urine and shit all in one. It's one of the healthiest things. It's got one of the highest nitrogen content of any kind of other like a feces based or some kind of like a manure based product that you're going to throw in. You're always going to want to use some kind of a manure in this mix. So once you got your three B's and you just sprinkle them on top of your dirt, it's really easy. There's nothing to this. Sprinkle it on so you cover the dirt, mix it in. Sprinkle it on so you cover the dirt, mix it in. Sprinkle it on so you cover the dirt, mix it in. About 1/4 of an inch of each thing. The bone meal, the blood meal, the bat guano. Be sparingly with the bat guano because it's very high nitrogen. And you're going to mix all that together, and you're going to take my favorite manure. It has no odor and it's very inexpensive, and you can get it at any garden store. It's earthworm castings. It looks just like soil. It looks like coffee grounds. It has no smell to it, and it's earthworm poop. It's got no odor. So that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because it's got no smell to it. Drop that in there. You got your manure, and you can use cow manure, horse manure, chicken manure, rabbit manure is great. There's any kind of animal. There's people out there that are doing the the off-grid total, and they're using their own manure. Oh man, I don't want to be around human shit. It's not my thing. You can live off-grid in class, and that's what I teach everybody. I'm completely off-grid. When PG&E goes down, I stay up because I'm all solar, and I'm giving them energy actually. That's a whole other story. Back to the soil. Anything else that goes into your soil, just don't put in meats or oils or fats. Basically, I know people when they have a steak and they don't eat the fat and they put it away, they're going to be inclined to throw that in their compost pile. It's okay if you do, as long as you can keep the foxes and the raccoons out of your backyard, and the armadillos and the dogs and the cats. They're rats. They love that kind of stuff. So if you stick to vegetable and then you really bury it good in the dirt and then you put a tarp over it, you put a couple of rocks on it, and every couple of days you go out there with a garden hose and water it just like it's a lawn. You put some water in there because bacteria love water. They thrive in the water. Keep it moist. That compost soil will literally, Graham, start growing vegetables right out of it underneath the tarp. I've had tomatoes sprout. I've had that zucchini plant sprouted from my compost pile, and I transplanted it into my grow. I had pole beans come
Did you
right.
put seeds in the compost pile?
Yeah,
Or
because
did it
remember
just
what
come
I
off?
told you? You're taking your scraps from your kitchen and throwing them in there, and seeds, just tomatoes, they end up in there. You don't do it intentionally, but yeah, it's all going in there. So you end up getting vegetables just growing. Once you have it right, those vegetables, if you have it moist enough, you don't need any sunlight at all. The seedlings need no sunlight. They will grow right underneath that tarp. So there's a whole bunch of other amendments that I talk about. I talk about water timer, so you don't have to go water every day, but I like to water every day. That's on the website. And keeping pests out and dealing with insects. I use two kinds of pesticides. They're both organic. One is called Organicide, and the other one is called Safer Soap Endol. Together, you can just about deal with any kind of a insect that you might get on any of your plants. Never spray in the sunlight. Always spray at night. Biochar. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, that product from the trees, when trees break down in the woods and they from fire, it's called biochar. You can literally buy it.
Okay.
People literally collect ash from wood and sell it as a product because it really is such a great additive for organic growing. Yes. And it's easy to make. If you have a bonfire out and you got a friend with a bonfire, just go collect ashes in a 5-gallon bucket and take them and add them to your compost pile. So that's all of this stuff, Graham, is covered. You could ask me if you have any questions about anything I just said. I could answer them right now for you. It's all covered on my website. Do you have any questions so far?
Well, I think that's some of the stuff I was sort of aware of a little bit because I was composting and, but just giving my compost to the city or whatever. But I'm trying to like figure that out with living in an apartment and composting
Brother,
and starting my own
you
little
don't
garden.
have to do this in your apartment. You share this with all of your audience. They're going to be shipping you their vegetables. I'm telling you. We have to take care of each other, and not everybody out there is
Right.
set up to do this. Now, that's one of the things I talk about. One of the other things I talk about is how do you do this on a budget? How do you do this when you're living in an apartment? What do you do? What do you... Okay, so it hurts, man. It hurts, but it's true, and it's if you really want to do this, the way you are living right now is going to be detrimental to your future if you're stuck there and you don't have a friend that's like, Graham, come on over, bring your
Right.
pets, bring your family, come live with us. We're off grid, blah blah blah. If you don't have that, you need to start thinking, hey man, this apartment thing is great and all. I'm spending this much money every month doing this. There's no way I can get out of where I am. I am in this cycle. I am locked in this method of living right now, and you just got to break out of it. I mean, so for
Yeah.
instance, let's say the cops bust into your door right now and arrest you and put you in jail for a year for who knows what. And you're in jail for a year and you lose your apartment and you lose everything. And then they're like, okay, have a nice life. And they send you back out and you're starting from scratch and you don't even have a smartphone. You realize right now you have so many tools at your disposal. You are not in a bad situation to get started doing this, to find a small, modest home that's got full sunlight that you can rent. And just, make sure you got fantastic internet there. That's the biggest thing. You're a podcaster. You're going to want to make sure whatever you're looking at, you got really good internet. I'm on satellite and it's horrible, but it works because I'm out in the mountains.
Right.
That's the first thing as a podcaster. Get your internet, and then I just tell everybody it's 5 things that you need. You need your own water. You need your own power. These are things you're going to work for, right? A place that basically think of it as um, something that you're going to get and then you're going to add on to. So you got to make sure that it's add on to a bowl. You got to make sure at start it's okay if you're getting city water, and it's okay if you're getting city power, and it's okay if you're going to the grocery store that's only a mile down the street to get your groceries as long as it's open. And it's okay if as far you've got a dog or something to protect you, because that's one thing we're going to talk about is security, and that you've got a home, a roof over your head. So that's great. Those are essentials. Does it have full sunlight, or does it have partial sunlight, or does it have a place where you can cut down a tree and make it full sunlight? That's something to look for, and that was something that my friend Dino helped me out with this home. He said, bro, you got to have full sunlight. You're going to be a grower. It's from morning to night. And he's like, if it's not, don't waste your time. This home did not have it, but I was willing to cut some trees down to do it, and I did. I cut some trees down, and I got my full sunlight. That's the one thing. Make sure you get the light, and then you can dig a well. And if you're lower down, if you're going to be at sea level, make sure you're not near the coast. It's going to be cheaper to dig a well at sea level. If you're going to want to dig a well and get your own water, you're going to want to be on a spring, or you're going to want to be next to a lake or a river or a water source. If not, you're going to be digging a well, and it's not that big of a deal. You can even do it by hand. You can do it yourself on your own property. If you're at sea level, it's an easy thing to do. Get the well, get your water, and then work on what are you going to do about power? Solar. Okay, I'm doing solar. Usually that's what the answer is. It doesn't take a lot of energy if you're living in a modest home. I needed a lot of solar panels because I've got a lot of energy draw here in this home. It's a big house, and I needed a lot. I've got 96 solar panels. The average home would need, a small modest home could probably make it on 12 up to 32, if it was a larger home. But 12, you could get by to keep your refrigerator running, and it'll do the essentials. And when you need to do laundry and stuff like that, you'd have the power for it. So let
me ask you this
go
too.
ahead.
Getting back to the water, I wanted to ask you this question. So then, do you also do? Because I've seen some people start to do just like water reclamation, like they have rain barrels. When it rains, they collect water in addition to,
It's great.
Obviously a well. But like, I know a lot of people who have. Just a friend of mine living in LA, little 2-bedroom house, and he started. The city was giving out a couple years ago 80-gallon drums that had a little spigot on the bottom, and the city was giving those out, and he started getting, and then he bought more of his own. He had all of a sudden he had 4 or 5 of them, and he said he was getting into the spring, early summer before he had to start using the city's water, which is significant. Southern California is a desert, so it kind of stops raining from June to October. But so I've always thought of that, and I think more people do. Do you use that, or have you used any of that, or looked into that?
Water storage, yes. I've got a you're gonna love this. Right outside my window here, I've got a 2,500 gallon water tank, 2,500 gallon water tank. It looks like it's a cylinder, and it's green. It's dark green, and you don't even notice it sitting there. It's gigantic. It's 8 feet tall, maybe 7 or 8 feet tall, and probably 7 feet wide, and you can fit it into the back of a pickup truck to just transport it when it's empty. But 2,500 gallons, my grow partner back when I was learning how to grow cannabis, he said, we had access to this tank. He said, let's turn it into a compost tea tank. And we did. We filled it up with water, and we took a giant canvas bag, and we filled it up with all kinds of rotten garbage and mycorrhizae and all the stuff that I told you about. And we dropped it in there. We let it soak for a couple of days, and it started smelling like beans, like a can of beans. When you open up like bush beans, it starts smelling like beans. It's this weird smell. It's an organic smell. And Dino said when it starts smelling like beans, it means the mycorrhizae are active. And our grow was amazing that year. We had so much water to pour on those plants that with the mycorrhizae in it. So you need space to do that, and storing water with rainwater is great when you have the capacity to do it. But it's, Graham, it only rains so often, and we've got this drought here in
Right.
California right now. We're not getting
Hmm.
much rain. So, location, location, location. You're gonna think about these 5 things, and it makes it really simple. Immediately, you're not near a water source, and you're 2,000 feet up in the air, and there's no well. Man, that well's gonna cost you at least 10,000, if not 20 or $30,000 to drill. So that's out of the question. You're just going to eliminate properties
Right.
like that. You're going to find one that you can rent. And this is the thing. You don't have to purchase a property. Find a rental, okay? And then make sure that you're renting from either these 2 entities, a realty agency or a bank. Do not ever rent from a private individual. If the grid goes down, if the economy collapses, him, his cousins, and his next door neighbor are going to show up at your house and physically take it back from you. If it's a bank, if it's a real estate company, you're never going to hear from them again. They're going to disappear like they should disappear.
Mm.
You're going to have a house and you're not going to have to pay for it anymore. It's like, it feels like that guy in the old Dell commercials. Dude, you're getting a Dell. You're getting a Dell. Remember that guy, the surfer dude? Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was shopping for one. I need another one. Psh.
Well, yeah, this is an intriguing conversation. I remember a couple months back, I had maybe 6 months ago, I had Jackson Fax on my show, was talking about looking for sort of off the grid, sustainable, self-sustaining properties and ways to live and stuff like that. Yeah, because it feels like we're gonna have to be. So let's go into some of the other things you're gonna need.
Sure. Sure. So the five things are a home, right? A roof over your head. Water, food, that's gardening. We already covered that. We talked about the water. Security, to make sure that somebody doesn't come take your home away from you. And that's, I would love to have a discussion with you about guns at some point. That would be a lot of fun. Um, and the last thing was medicine. Antibiotics.
Mm.
Where are you going to get antibiotics from if you can't go see a doctor? How are you going to get stitched up if you cut yourself open and there aren't emergency rooms open? So to what level of medicine you want to cover, it's up to you. And just like to what level of a home do you need to live in, it can be a tent. It can literally be a tent on your property and you can defend it. And we talked about this. For $85, you can have a tent and a bed. It's a suspension bed inside a tent. It's on Amazon. It's $85. You've already got your house for 85 bucks. And then, if you got a piece of property or a piece of property that's federal property, you could find a spring out in the middle of nowhere that nobody knows about. And I'm telling you, right here in my neighborhood, right on my friend's property, there were 3 or 4 different little communes, man, of people, like groups of 3 or 4 people living on his property. He didn't even know they were there for years. I discovered them. I discovered them on his property, and they were stealing from him. They were cutting down his oak trees.
Jeez.
Yeah. So you can live for years. But land is so vast, and people don't want to live like that, But some people live like that today, and there's people who are capable to live like that, and they're living by other means, and they choose to live comfortably, which is fine, like I do. But it's always good to have that $85 tent bed in your closet, just in case, just in case you get, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So what?
Those are the 5 things.
Yeah, man, I gotta run here in a little bit.
No,
So
no,
what
wait,
else-
wait,
what
wait,
else-
no,
what else do
you
think
were
is-
late. I get to keep you longer. You were late.
All right, that's
Okay.
fair.
This is a good segue. Climate change and the collapse of the economy. Okay? This is all relative because you and I are both dealing with these fires, and the fire season gets longer and longer every year. And I don't know if I got to tell you about the pine beetle and the way the pine beetles are affecting all the trees now all over the world. Did I ever mention that in one of our conversations? Because I don't want to bore you with
No,
it.
I don't think so. I don't. I
It's
mean,
just another
I
indicator.
know it's gotten like it.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
It's getting bad, and we've got plenty of proof. And there's no need for us to sit here and try to convince our audiences anymore that it's happening. As far as I'm concerned, they're going to see my attitude towards them, whether they're concerned about it or not, and they're going to believe, because they're going to be like, man, he doesn't care about us if we don't believe in climate change. It's true. You guys have to take care of yourselves, and if you're not thinking about the future, I can't just take your hand and all of a sudden save y'all. You know?
Yeah, it's the climate change things, and you know, this fire season. Of course, you know, a month ago, I remember you were on my live chat, and you were like, we just crossed 2 million acres burned, which was like a catastrophic number, and now we're already at 4 million acres
4
burned
million
in the state of California. I mean, it's just like, it's
way worse than we ever imagined. And Donald Trump doesn't want to give us federal funding to help us battle the fires.
It's
It
mind-boggling.
makes me want to cry, Graham. I could feel the tears almost welling up in my eyes right now as I think about it. It's such a mean, what a mean man to do that.
He's a mean, awful man, and Biden doesn't even fight back and say that. Biden didn't even say, you know, in that debacle train wreck debate where, you know, Trump was like, wow, the fires in California, you know, that.
And he had nothing to come back with.
Whatever he said, it's the forestry. They need to do more forestry management. Joe Biden should have gone, well, that's the forestry department, that's federal, so you should be funding this then. You know, like you should be, if it is a forestry management issue, or I'm sure that has something to do with it, then the federal government should be spending. Anyway, we could talk about those two idiots all day and night, but yeah, as we watch here, the climate collapse is happening in real time. And, you know, it's going to have all these cascading effects. And on top of it, you know, a lot of countries around the world, obviously their economy has been severely impacted by the pandemic. But this country is going to be, I think, even worse because we've just had this broken system for so long. And now the Federal Reserve is just printing money. And you've got all these looming evictions, and
you got Nancy Pelosi telling
just
Americans to just calm down about getting some money for COVID. Just calm down.
Just calm down. Yeah, that's. I mean, today I was watching. You know, I guess the Democrats in Congress have put some stimulus bill, and they're blaming McConnell and.
They're laughing at us.
I mean,
they're all laughing at us from their vineyards.
They don't care about us. The federal government and anyone who thinks one party cares more than the other is in denial. Like these people, these powerful people in both these parties do not give a shit about us at all. They've made that abundantly clear. And I hope they get some new stimulus bill signed, but they're going to, you know.
Can I just say this? While both of us are right here, it's so important. I know you're in a hurry. I'm going to rush you through, okay? Because I don't have a lot more to say to you. But while we're on this, masks work. I love this man. He is intelligent, everybody, okay? He knows what he's talking about. You guys watch me and you think I'm a little bit crazy, screaming up here on the top of my mountain, getting high all day. And I understand. But I have a feeling that Graham would join me in appealing to all of you and telling you that, yes, masks work. And if we all come together and we start wearing them when we go out and we start taking this a little bit more seriously, Graham, we're in our third wave. Nobody wants to admit this, but we are in the third wave in the United States of COVID. So we pulled up the chart and it looks like a roller coaster. And now we're going up. It's going click, click, click on number 3, way above the second wave. You know, that's at johnshopkins.edu. That's where that live chart is. You can see it anytime you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching the news today. I was watching RT because I like getting a different view than.
However did you find RT, man? You must have an agency working for you, a search party.
Yeah, I get a direct feed from the Kremlin. Since I'm a Kremlin puppet.
It's funny because that's the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is the algorithms. All right, great segue. Keep going. What'd you see on RT though?
they talked about the the second wave uh, is already happening around the world. I mean,
Right.
they kept saying it's coming. There's another wave of this disease coming
Right.
in the winter months, and Western Europe, all these other places, it's coming, and it's already hit. Numbers are starting to track back up, and even Sweden, that is very kind of proudly, and I don't say that I agree or disagree with Sweden, but Sweden has kept everything open, and they really haven't done much. They kept their economy open, and they're even talking about having to go back to some more stricter measures. And it's this next wave is here. It's coming. It's mid-October, so that means in the northern part of the hemisphere, it's already starting to get colder, and that's going to happen again. And I always talk about Japan because there's a lot of factors. There's this new study that somebody sent me about Japan that I need to go over. But Japan has kept their whole economy open. They're very adamant about wearing masks. Now, culturally, they've always worn masks. They don't have a problem. Nobody fights about masks. But they have had a minimal. I mean, they had an impact. They told people, like, if you don't have to go out, stay home. But I was talking to a friend of mine in Tokyo. Her husband has been taking the train to work in Tokyo, a massive city, 3 times the size of New York City, to work every day. He just wears a mask. And then, some days he works at home. Like, they've sort of, like, staggered it a little bit to keep the office not as crowded. But, I mean, he's on a crowded subway, but everyone's wearing a mask. And nobody's like, I'm not wearing a mask. Nobody's arguing about, nobody's mad at you because you have a mask on and they don't. There's none of that crazy American behavior.
Right.
And their economy stayed open. Their mortality rates are super low. That there's a lot of factors in there. They have low rates of obesity in that country. They eat smaller portions. They eat very fresh food. They eat a lot of rice, a lot of. They don't have this crappy American diet. And their older generation is like, does Tai Chi in the park. And I mean, like, I've been to Japan, and you just see 70 and 80-year-olds walking, exercising, in pretty fantastic shape. So there's a lot of factors to it. But I mean, the second wave in America, the people arguing about the mask thing, is just it's mystifying. It's mystifying to me. I don't get it. But it's like America is acting like a bunch of children, and unfortunately, America's going to have to learn the hard way. I mean, even Trump getting it, and Chris Christie getting it, and all these people, they're still not enough.
It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know. I mean,
it's almost like they take something like that and use it to their advantage politically. So it's insanity.
Yeah.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
That you could be so flagrant, and that you can't. You're the
crazy.
leader. It's your job to not catch COVID. You are not supposed to get sick. You shouldn't have been acting like you were, just without your mask and acting like, oh, I'm gonna kiss everybody. I mean, that was after the fact that he said that. But
And yeah.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and then even he does get it, and he's like, "Oh, I beat COVID." Well, you beat COVID with $1.5 million in, like, drugs and pharmaceuticals that the average American will never get access to. So even if he did beat it, but again, in this latest phone call where he's bad mouthing Fauci, he sounds sick.
I missed that one. I haven't heard that one yet. Did you cover that on your show?
No, I haven't. It just came out. He called Fauci an idiot and all this other crazy stuff, and you're just like, but he sounds like on the phone, he's like, yeah, he sounds awful, and you're just like, okay, man, like, I don't know what it's gonna, but even if he dies from COVID, some of his crazy followers, some of them will wake up, but some of them will just, I don't know.
No, he's gonna be back in 3 days, bro, for the resurrection.
Yeah.
All right, let's wait. Okay, let's hop off of COVID because it's the last thing. It's the algorithms, bro. You were talking about Lee Camp, and Lee Camp now he opens up, and you're gonna love this. Lee Camp, of course, he opens up every show saying that he is the most squelched podcast on YouTube, that he is muzzled, and that if you're seeing him right now, You're one of the very few lucky ones. I love that he says that. Bro, back in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, when I was broadcasting, I used to say, "Hi, everybody. You're watching Trendy As Dabbers. This is the home of Trendy As Dabbers and all things trendy. You'll find me in the hashtag trendies on all forums, sources, and sources of social media, except on YouTube because they've got me hidden and YouTube sucks my dick." And I used to say that every show. So I want you to know that I suffered the algorithms. I know that you know about Adpocalypse in 2017, but I literally was screaming and crying about it in 2013 because I had a very successful YouTube channel when I started, and it was when Google purchased YouTube that they caught me, and then I've been crying about it ever since. So when I watch people like you and Jimmy Dore and Kyle Kalinske, and I hear you guys talking about these algorithms, and it's the progressive, they're going after the progressive media. You know, they were going after the right wingers, they're going after the progressives, they're going after, you know, specific forms of thought that they disagree with, and then you're like, and you're allowing all this other garbage on your channel. Why is it just that? Do you have some sort of a political agenda? But I am here to tell you, man, it might not be as political as you think, and it might not be as anti-cannabis as I used to think. My theory is when they get people, and you brought these people to YouTube, when they can unsubscribe them from your channel, those people will come back to YouTube and they will go to the main splash page where all the money channels are for YouTube, with all the good advertisements and all that. They're diverting traffic. You're getting people on such a high scale, and Jimmy Dore getting people on such a... Man, I heard you say you literally saw your subscribers go down. You just saw this happen?
Yeah, I saw the numbers go down. I mean, I was at like 73,007 or 800. I was about to cross over to 74,000, and then I saw like 73,200 or 300 or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, it's literally impossible when I'm dropping 2 to 3 clips a day and going live on YouTube 4 days a week. It's like I'm doing 15 to 20 clips a week and 3 to 4 live streams a week. And my numbers are going down. And you say that you're doing Rockfin as your backup, and that's great. You know, I'm doing Restream. I learned from Ron Placone. Ron Placone uses Restream, so I broadcast right now. We're broadcasting to 16 channels. We're broadcasting to 6 YouTube channels. We're broadcasting to 6 Facebook channels. We're broadcasting to Twitter via Periscope, Twitch, hopefully, and DLive and a couple of other services. That Restream is my answer to this problem. Now, granted, I don't get a lot of viewers on my show, even when I go to all of these channels. But someone like you, I think you could really benefit from broadcasting to multiple channels simultaneously, like I'm doing. That way, if you ever have a problem on a YouTube channel, you're broadcasting, hopefully you're using Restream, it's free. You could be broadcasting to another YouTube channel, or to your Facebook channel, or I don't know what you use when you go live. I know you go to, you're going to Rockfin, you're going to YouTube. Are you using StreamYard? Yeah, I use StreamYard, and I go to Rockfin and YouTube. I simulcast.
So that's 2. So I'm doing 16. I don't know how many Ron Placone is, but I don't know what StreamYard allows you to do. I mean, can you add more on StreamYard? Could you go broadcast to a Facebook and broadcast to a second YouTube channel simultaneously?
You know, I'm going to look into that, because if I can do my Facebook, you go to Facebook anyway. But if I can broadcast on Facebook, I will.
Oh, well, let me tell you something, Graham. Let me tell you something about Facebook. Oh my goodness gracious! What lately I've seen, when you go live, you get like 500 people on a live stream. That's amazing. Okay, when I go live, I get like anywhere from 20 to 40 usually. When I see Jimmy Dore go live, you know, he'll have up to 15,000 people watching him.
Yeah.
If you guys did a podcast every now and again on a Facebook channel, you would blow those numbers to smithereens. Guaranteed.
Really?
Oh my God. Facebook, people will see you. And they will, I am telling you, when I was on Facebook and broadcasting just to a single Facebook channel, and that's the trick. You got to broadcast to just one Facebook channel and nowhere else. You like take your cell phone and go to Facebook and hit live broadcast. Graham Elwood, the political vigilante, live. Click. Put your phone on a little tripod. I got this one. I got my phone on a little tripod like this. I got it plugged into the wall so I can broadcast all day if I want to. And you could do 4 hours, bro. By the time you're done, you probably have 10,000, 20,000 people watching you on Facebook. Your fans would find you. They would be notified and they would find you. And you start a page on Facebook instead of just a channel. You have to start a page so you've got access to more than 5,000 people. So you
I already have that. I have a fan page.
So just start telling your audience about it. Just start telling your audience, oh, by the way, I'm on Facebook. I do this for Ron Placone. Let me tell you what I do for Ron Placone, and sometimes for you too, on my channel. At the end of my show, Ron Placone endorses the triage oil on every single one of his shows, and because it helps him with his neck, and I just think it's fantastic. So I say, he goes, this, I use this, and blah, 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 and he makes a big deal about it. So I say, you guys make sure you check out Ron Placone. He's on, he's got his own .com. It's ronplacone.com. He's got lucyandron.com. It's a fantastic comic strip, or you will laugh. It's really cute, well done, that he writes in conjunction with somebody else. I said he is on Facebook at Ron Placone. He's on Instagram at Ron Placone. He's on Twitter at Ron Placone, and let him know that I told you by saying that Nays Garden sent you. And he's on YouTube at Ron Placone. Get your news on with Ron, and make sure when you go there that you subscribe to his channel and hit that little notifications thing, and make sure you click all notifications after you click subscribe, because YouTube sucks my dick. I'll usually scream something like that, just to get everybody's attention. But you heard I threw Facebook in there?
Yeah.
So you just throw Facebook in whenever you're promoting your stuff from now on. Catch me at Rockfin. Catch me, Graham Elwood, on my YouTube channel, Graham Elwood, the political vigilante. And you guys, I might be starting to broadcast Facebook. So go ahead and make sure you find me on Facebook. I'm sure. What are you, just Graham Elwood on Facebook, or is it the political vigilante, or what's
Graham Elwood Comedy?
Graham Elwood Comedy. You could totally do it from there. How many followers does that have? Everybody go to Graham Elwood Comedy on Facebook right now and go follow it right now. Let's see how many followers we can get for him. Have you ever checked to see how many followers it's got?
Yeah, it's about 10,000.
What? Bro.
Yeah.
Can you broadcast to that page?
I'm going to see if I can. If I can do it through StreamYard
Let me tell you.
If I can simulcast to that page, I will.
And if you can't, just go straight to Facebook just to do it. Just to do it. Because let me tell you something. Out of those, did you just say 10,000 followers?
Yeah.
Bro, there's going to be like 600 or 700 of those people online that are going to get notified as soon as you go live. They're going to get a red dot on top of their phone, and it's going to say Graham Elwood. They're going to be like, what? Click.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll start doing that.
Once you're inside, hooked up today. Once you're inside Facebook, tell your audience that's watching from Facebook, say, will you guys please share me in a large group on Facebook? Bro, and then all of a sudden it's going to go, ba, 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 ba. Your audience is just going to go, ba, 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 ba. A couple of shares in a couple of large groups. Say, if you guys could share this in a couple of large groups on Facebook for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. If they do that, see, I didn't ask them to do it for this live broadcast. I could do it. The problem is our chat has been all of the gardeners, Nays gardeners, I say, ho, gardeners. It's been them, and they're really nice people, and they've been asking really good questions and saying really nice things. They love you. But if you say, go post this in large groups on Facebook, and somebody posts it in a troll group, your chat will blow up. You'll get thousands of people. They'll be telling you to take your clothes off and saying all kinds of stupid stuff. And I mean, it'll go crazy. So you're just gonna have to put your blinders on and do your show, and just pretend you don't see them. Just put your blinders on and just go. you know? And you can even take your finger and swipe the chat off the screen and you'll just see yourself. So if it got like that, I
Okay.
know you love your audience. And I know you love to read, and that's what makes you such an awesome podcaster. And that's what I tell my guys. And you know Doc Holland from Twitter? You know Doc Holland from Twitter?
Yeah.
He's always
Hmm.
tweeting at you. He's one of my audience
Yeah.
members, and he loves, bro, when he tweets something and you or Ron like something that he put up, he comes back on my
Yeah.
show and he's like, Graham Elwood liked one of my tweets. I'm like, yeah, man, I know. Isn't Twitter the best thing in the whole world? You make
Yeah, it's
people's
cool,
days,
man.
bro. You make my day, and you make everyone's day. You make our day so much better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I try, man. I like building a community, and I like interacting and hearing what people have to say, and I like the discussions we have on the show, even the debates. I love hearing them. You know, like they're really good. It's what I envision a healthy democratic society to actually be.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
is like it's okay to disagree a little bit. It's okay to just like try to find the best solution and for this and
I
that. And
agree. That's what we're talking about.
I dig that. What was that?
I said that's what I'm talking about all the time on my show now is listen, Graham, I know what it's like to hate someone who supports Donald Trump. I did it for
Hmm.
years. I did this for years, and I shut my cousin out of my life. I shut people out of my life. I shut some of the friends I grew up with out of
Hmm.
my life. Some of the coolest people that I've ever grown up with, man. Some of my best friends in the whole world, I shut them out. And about a year ago, I saw this movie. I don't know. I think it was called Earbuds. And it made me start listening to people. And at first, it made me start listening to my audience. And then when I started listening to my audience, I realized my audience consisted of more than just people that agreed with me. And then I started listening to the people that I disagreed with. And man, now I'm listening, and this is going to hurt your feelings, bro. But I listen to Ben Shapiro. I listen to Candace Owens. I listen to Tim Pool. I listen to H.A. Goodman. And I love H.A. Goodman. And he is so lovable. He's such a great man. And he loves Donald Trump more than water. And I don't know what is wrong with him. And I'm going to try to get to him someday. But as far as people goes, man, it's like I don't want to cut these people out of my life anymore. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're ramping us into a civil war, so we got to try to mitigate it and not let it
How
not
about
fall into
that?
their
How about
game.
we talk right instead of going into a war? Exactly. Yes, let's
Yeah,
talk. And if it gets heated, it gets heated. But at least we're not in the street throwing things at each other. You know?
we're taking up guns. Like it's like I understand the like feeling, security. We talked about living off the grid, and people could just kind of want to kind of take your home, and so you go, well, I should have some type of weapon or whatever.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I understand that mentality, but if anybody wants to do a little research about what civil wars look like, look at Yugoslavia, look at Sri Lanka, look at some horrific civil wars that have happened just in the last 20, 30 years. And it's awful. I mean, if everyone's ramping up for this civil war, I don't think Americans are too soft, and they've never had to really go through any serious, awful, brutal hardship on our soil. We don't know what Americans do not know what it's like on our soil. We have not lived through it. We've had 9/11, which was bad. We've had economic collapse. We've never had just mayhem in the streets. Um,
Can I give you a bridge?
and tanks.
Can I give you a bridge to cross? And it's an easy one.
Sure.
Biden and Trump. We've all been given this horrible choice, and I think a lot of people can come together on that. You say it, Lee Camp says it,
Yeah.
Jimmy Dore says it, Ron
Hmm.
Placone says it, everybody who listens to all of you say it, I say it, Kyle Kalinske says it, David Pakman doesn't say it at all because I don't know what the fuck his problem is. He needs to step up a little bit. I guess the left can do no wrong in David Pakman's eyes, but I still watch him, and that's the thing, is through listening and listening and listening and letting them know that you're listening and supporting them. Because listen, man, H.A. Goodman, bro. I mean, when he went Trump, I mean, he was Bernie, bro. Do you remember H.A. Goodman when he was full on Bernie? And him and Tim Black had a thing, It was so cool. They had a mutual podcast. It was so cool, man. You had Tim Black and H.A. Goodman, and it
Mhm.
was like there was something going on, and you didn't know what it was, and then boom, all of a sudden it all made sense. H.A. Goodman started supporting Donald Trump, and they fell apart. And I would love it if they would come back together again. If Tim Black and H.A. Goodman would start podcasting together again and start listening to each other again. And you know, and it forces you to be nicer. You know, people are so high and mighty when they're on their own making a tweet, or they've got the comfort or security of being alone tweeting at somebody, or spouting their opinion off somewhere on the internet. But when you're face to face with someone, even like this, or you know, like I would like to see Tim Black and H.A. Goodman do, you have to kind of keep yourself in check, like muting the microphone for the presidential debate coming up.
Yeah, yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. We'll see. I mean, we're either going to completely collapse or we're going to hit a rock bottom and rise back up like an addict that hits, like America's like an addict, an alcoholic or a drug addict who's going to have to hit rock bottom. And some addicts hit rock bottom and get sober and turn their lives around, and it's amazing. And then some addicts OD and die.
Well, then America needs a 12-step program.
Yeah, yeah, and it's socialism.
Hey, you call it socialism, but that word scares people. I'm going to tell you something, okay?
Sure, yeah.
The last few years, I mean, even before Donald Trump became president, okay, we were doing pretty damn good with this interwoven system of socialism and democracy, weren't we? It was working. We had the post office, we had education, we had the police, the fire, well, all these programs that are socialist programs, and they're working. Everything was working fine. I call it Americanism. I looked it up in the dictionary. It is actually a word. It's Americanism. It's our system that we have invented here, that we live by now. It's an intertanglement of democracy and socialism working together. But you can't say, when you say I'm a democratic socialist or I'm a socialist Democrat, when you say either of those things, and they both mean something different, people hear socialist and they fucking flip out. You know, everyone on the right flip, oh, you're socialist. Even people on the left flip out about socialism. But I like to call things what they are. That's what I say. You know, people shouldn't call it marijuana, pot, dope, weed, or reefer, because those are all bad words that were invented by people that were trying to make cannabis look bad. So I say the same thing here. If we started to call it Americanism, and I know that sounds a little bit flaggish, but if we put a new word on it, because that is the definition of our system, our current system of how we work things in America, it's Americanism. People might be like, what is Americanism? And say it's our current working system of government. It's how we do stuff. It's the post office, you know, it's education, it's you know, name all the socialist programs in this country, and all of a sudden you've got this list, you know, and people just don't want to admit it, that they're living basically benefiting from socialist policies. So that word, it's like a red flag for so many people, man, you know? Socialism.
Yeah, a lot of older people who were raised on, you know, this propaganda machine.
Not all older people, Graham. Not just older people. There's younger people. The brainwashing is thick, and it goes right down to their grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember the Russians and socialism, and let me tell you, I just heard about East Germany. I didn't even know about East Germany. East Germany was a socialist experiment? I didn't know that. I just learned this.
I mean, it was, but that's like the American propaganda machine has done a fantastic job of making, like, you know, totalitarian era
socialism, exactly. Instead of Bernie Sanders
making it the same thing,
universal basic income, Medicare for all. You know, let's try to help the poor and feed the hungry. Free college. And let's regulate these industries. I mean, come on. I had the freakiest thing happen to me this morning, Graham. You're gonna love it. My air conditioning went out. I was on my live stream, my podcast. I texted my AC guy. During the podcast, he calls me on the phone and fixes it on the phone with me within a half hour of me texting him. And I said to everybody, all corporations need to be like that. And there used to be a time when they were. You used to call a corporation, you'd get a real person on the phone. They would stay with you on the phone until they fixed your problem. Now they don't even have a phone number on their website anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. But I gotta run, bro, because I gotta do my show later today.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much. You know we love you. We love that you came by, and you're welcome here anytime, man.
Thanks,
I've
dude.
got so many things I'd love to talk to you about in the future if you'd come back again. So
For sure.
come on
Thanks
back.
for having me on, Nate. I really appreciate it, and thanks for giving me the education about gardening and all that stuff. And I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the work you're doing and having me on.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Thank you, brother.
All right, dude. Well, you have a great afternoon, man, and
Okay.
we'll talk soon.
Okay. Hey, shave your knuckles for justice.
Boom! Right there, brother.
All
Shave your
right,
knuckles for
brother.
justice.
That's what I'm talking about. Definitely.
All right, dude. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Peace.
Later, bro.
Why does he put this smile on my face? If you're smiling right now, press number 1. If you're smiling right now, if you got a big dumb smile like I do, press number 1. How many ones can I get? Well, how long did we go? An hour and a half? Did we go an hour and a half with Graham Elwood? Dude, I swear I almost started crying when we started talking about this current situation for everybody, man. It is really. Megsy hit number 2. This was great. Thanks, Bubble. Nancy, right on. If any of you guys said anything important during the chat, I'm so sorry. I was so focused on Graham. Go ahead and retype it for me, and if I need to see it, go ahead. I'm so sorry about that. And I'll smoke with you guys, huh? Did a bong hit or two with Graham. I think we did a bong hit before, right? Before he got here, didn't we? Did we pack a fresh one with him? That was great. We had 2 pounds of cannabis in a bin throughout the entire interview. I love it. No law regarding cannabis, man. No law. And I just printed this shirt up for me this morning, guys. I went out there and I made myself a medium. I made myself 2 mediums. Oh, and my chair held up the whole time. My chair held up the whole time, and it just went down for the first time. That is so funny. Oh my God, I love this. Yeah, okay, the chair can stay down here. We're cool. I'm so happy. Oh, it was a great interview, man. I mean, it was just a great conversation, man. He's so smart, man. He's such a smart guy. And he has a lot to offer his audience. And he can take some of the information that I give to you guys, and he can pass that along to his audience, man. And we can reach a lot more people this way, We could save some lives, man. We're going to save lives, literally save people's lives. Imagine if you have a pain in your body and it never goes away, and the triage oil would make it go away. And it's just driving you crazy, Everybody needs to know about it. Everybody needs to know that cannabis is the cure for pain, and it might even be the cure for repairing cells. And I'm so glad that we're still on the video that we had the interview of Graham, and I'm talking about it. And I talked about why we call it cannabis. That's important too. Marijuana is a racist name. It was invented by William Randolph Hearst, and the word was printed in his newspapers that were in direct competition with hemp, for him to be printing his garbage all over the United States at the time, which he ended up saying that cannabis made people go crazy and kill people. And he used that word marijuana because it had a Latin sound. He made it up. He made the word up, basically. He adopted a word that sounded similar, changed it to suit him, right? And that was the word he started putting in his own made-up little fucking word, marijuana. Because at the time Americans were really racist against Mexicans. So he used that to get cannabis outlawed. So now you know why you shouldn't call it marijuana. And every time you use that word, you're supporting the guy who got it banned in 1937, William Randolph Hearst, the biggest piece of garbage ever known in the history of the planet. We could talk about how his existence and what he did will result in all of ours extinction, the entire planet's extinction, because of that one person and his greed and his ignorance and his lack of an education about cannabis. And if he had been educated about cannabis and hemp and known about it, he might not have launched that campaign that got it banned in 1937 finally. Cheers. I'll smoke to that. Cyber style. Cannabism tisms for all. No law regarding cannabis. You guys on Facebook want to go ahead and share this in a large group on Facebook for me now? I'd appreciate it. Let's get high in this bitch. Celebrate your high. Come on. Come on. Celebrate your high. Come on. Iceman. Cheers, son. There's a party going on right here. Hey, man. I bet you I could put a clamp. A celebration lasts throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now, celebration. Come on now, it's gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time we come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure, everyone around the world? Come on! Come on! He's river dancing! Oh my God, he's river dancing! Come on! All right, I'll be right back. I just gotta get a clamp from downstairs. I just figured out how to fix my chair. And I'm all happy about it. I'm just gonna grab a clamp. It's clamping! It's clamping! It's cold, cold clamping! Come home and celebrate. Good old clamp. He's clamping. He's clamping. He's cold, cold clamping. Let's see if this works. Kind of slips a little bit. Oh yeah, let me try that. I got a clamp on it now. Iceman, cheers. You're exactly right, and I agree. People must notice. They gotta notice, because we ain't new to this. Because we ain't new to this. Hey now, hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. Hey now. Everybody just calm down. Hey now. Cheers, Nay. Happy for you. Thank you, Susie. So nobody had anything important they wanted me to see. Okay, cool. That's cool. I did see a little bit of the commentary. I want to say thank you. I did see some very nice comments that you guys said about Graham. So I really appreciate that, guys. It was really nice of you all to make those comments during the chat. Those were scrolling throughout the whole video. I don't usually do that, but I thought today, why not? You know, I try to keep my eye on it and see if anything got crazy. But it looked okay, so that mechanism can't be that difficult. Do you know where it is not working? Dude, it's a big steel post that is just sinking down, right? I could drill a hole through it and put a bolt through it, and that would fix it. Right now I've got a clamp on it. The clamp's holding it up right now. What's going on back here? Huh? Oh, baby boy. He's my little baby boy, baby boy, baby boy. He's my little baby boy, baby boy, baby boy. He's my baby boy. He's a little snuggler. So, I wonder what we'll talk to Graham. It was nice. He said he'd come back and hang out with us again. So maybe him and I can talk about guns. You know? He said, I see where people are coming from, where they say they're off grid and they got to protect their home and they're going to need a gun and the society collapses. He said something along those lines. I don't know exactly what his wording was. I have to go back and listen to it. But it was, it's interesting. He's willing to go there with me, you know, which is great. That means he feels comfortable enough, you know, and that's good. I want people to feel comfortable to have a conversation with me about anything, you know? When is Steph coming back? I didn't want to bother her. You know, I sent her a couple messages on Twitter. I could send her one right now. I'll send her a message. Come on. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good time. Come on. Totally forgot what I was doing. Oh, right. Sending a message to Steph. Twitter always makes me forget. It's like a big mind vacuum. Okay, where are you? I'm going to send him a little note first. You made your hair before Graham, but it looks good. My hair? I do my hair the same way every day, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I do my hair every time I step out of the shower. If I don't, it gets thin feeling. So I have a whole regimen, bro. It makes it feel soft. You know what? I need a girlfriend so she can do this and feel my hair and go like, "Oh, babe, your hair feels so soft. It feels so fucking soft. So soft." So, let's talk to my hair. Where's Steph at? That was funny. You guys couldn't even imagine the softness. It's just, it's beyond soft. God, I must be so nervous to. Oh, okay. I did my tweeting. I tweeted at Steph. So, I hope you guys had fun. I'm sitting here looking at the Twitter sphere. Wonder what's going on with Julian Assange. I have to check in with that. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the interview, the conversation we had with Graham, and I'll let you know if I hear back from Steph, and hear back from Token Daily. Never heard back from him either. So, or Kit Boga. Never heard back from him. I don't think he's interested. But we'll see. All right. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. I already told you about Ron Placone, so check out ronplacone.com and Get Your News On with Ron on YouTube, with Ron Placone on YouTube. And Ron Placone is got a great website. It's lucyandron.com. I got to mention it. It's great comic strip. Fantastic. Go check it out. All right. Thanks so much again, guys. Thanks for watching. All right. You're welcome. Hope you enjoyed it. And just so y'all know, it's an hour 45 minutes. Just so y'all know. It says there's 14 people watching this right now. I'm just going to go by, yeah, there's 14 people here. I would have stayed for 4 hours, man, if there were more. I was going to play my guitar, rock out, and celebrate that Graham was here. It says there's 14 viewers. Can I get 14 ones from 14 different people? If you guys want me to stay and keep going. How many ones can I get? Because I don't want to refresh the chat. I want to be able to go back and read every chat. I could pull up a new chat, actually. I could close Zoom out too. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 people. David C. Baker, are fucking 8 of those people you. Wow, 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 wow. Can't get 14 people to press 14 ones. So many ones. You guys like my mustache? Look at my mustache, man. Unreal. Got me a mustache. This almost looks like a handlebar. Unreal, pal. I can't get any more ones, huh? Alright. That's cool. There's just a few people. I was hoping this was going to get a lot of shares on Facebook and stuff. Talk a lot of shit. It's fine. Get in your car. Take your keys. Drive your car. On the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all. Take care. I will see you on the next live stream. Bye, guys.